Hey guys, this is Julian. Today I'm going to do a tour of my tool bag. This will just be a basic overview of the tools I've collected over the last few years. I've carefully researched and done a lot of trial and error to settle at the point I'm at now with my tool collection. If you notice as you're watching the video that I'm missing something that you believe is crucial, it may be that I just haven't found a use yet for that particular tool in my life. There are also some tools that I won't include in this video because they're in my garage or my shed and I don't use them on a regular basis. That being said, let's get right into it. First, I'll go through my Knipex tools. These are the Knipex Twin Grip Slip Joint Pliers. This one is the 8-inch version. I treat these as kind of a general all-purpose set of pliers. They have adjustable jaws thanks to this push button mechanism, so they're able to accommodate many sizes of whatever item I need them to grip. The comfort grip handles are extremely ergonomic and allow me to really choke up to get as much torque as possible. The teeth are robust and optimized for front and side gripping, which is ideal when doing something like removing a stripped screw or rusty bolt or nut. These are the 6 1/4 inch Knipex diagonal cutters. I find myself needing to cut wire very often in my life for some reason, so I've always needed a good pair of cutters. These ones are by far the best I've ever used, thanks to Knipex's precision machining. Due to the high leverage point, they can cut items as thick as a nail with very minimal effort. The joint comes very well oiled, and the smooth movement also contributes to the ease of use. The blades are sharp and very precise when you need them to be. I opted for the ergonomic comfort grip handles on this tool as well. These are the 6 1/4 inch Knipex long nose or needle nose pliers with built-in cutter. I love a good pair of needle nose pliers, and the machining on these pliers specifically is phenomenal. The grip flare lets you really nestle the webbing in between your thumb and pointer finger to the highest point on the handles, which allows for a very comfortable and strong grip. Knipex's attention to detail is evident when it comes to the rounded outside edges of the steel and the serrated gripping surfaces. These just can't be beat when it comes to getting into hard-to-reach spaces. These are the 5-inch Cobra water pump pliers. These pliers are small enough to use as an everyday carry item while still being very effective. Just like the twin grip pliers, they use a push button method for adjusting the jaw size, so even though these pliers are small, the jaws can effectively grip items up to just over an inch in diameter. The self-locking mechanism and jaw teeth also allow for a sturdy grip on almost any material. There's a whole host of uses for these pliers. For instance, I recently used them to install a new shower head, and they worked really well. I would highly recommend having multiple sizes of these pliers in your arsenal of tools. This is the Tough Built Scraper Utility Knife. It's a 2-in-1 tool that features a simple utility knife that can be flipped to use as a scraper knife. This is a heavy tool, but you can really feel that the weight is due to the solid build quality. This knife is just fun to deploy, and I sometimes find myself using the flip feature over and over just so I can watch the action. There's also an integrated pry bar type tool that can be used to pull up staples or open paint cans if needed. These are my Vaughan mini pry bars. I have the 5-inch and 7-inch versions, which is really all I ever need for jobs inside my home, but Vaughan does offer a variety of other larger sizes as well. I love having a solid pry bar in my tool bag to use for tough prying jobs because I never want to resort to using a screwdriver or other less effective tool. These are simple tools but great quality. This is my Speed Out titanium screw extractor kit. This can be a handy little set to have, but to be honest, it's usually hit or miss if it works for me. I usually end up using a pair of pliers or some other method to remove stripped or stuck screws, but because it's so compact, I keep this as a backup in my tool bag just in case. This is a little 8-inch plastic Stanley level that I've had for probably a decade. It's simple, functional, and easy to use. There is a magnetic strip on the underside. It's not the strongest, but it's never slipped off any metal surface. I don't see the need to replace this tool unless I find a level that I really want to try out. These are 2 stud finders that I use in conjunction with each other. The Zircon battery-operated stud finder is definitely not reliable, and I usually end up having to go over a spot several times before I feel confident that the Zircon identified a stud. Even at that point, I then use the C.H. Hansen magnetic stud finder to confirm the placement. I upgraded to this Klein Tools precision screwdriver set a few years ago. It comes with the driver and 39 bits, and it's honestly overkill for what the average person needs. I will say that the driver itself doesn't feel sturdy at all. The handle is plastic and feels cheap when you're using it, especially the spin cap. The shaft is metal and reversible to extend the reach. I'm usually fine with the shorter length for most tasks, but it is nice to have the option. The magnets inside the barrel are pretty strong, and the bits definitely stay put when in use. The star of the show is honestly the case. It's well built, and the auto-locking mechanic is very satisfying. Just like the Stanley Level, I've probably had this cheap 10-ounce anvil hammer for a decade. I know I purchased it from Home Depot for maybe $12, and it's honestly been the best hammer for almost all in-home projects I've needed it for. I have heavier, more robust hammers that I keep in my garage, but I usually don't need anything more than this. The PB Swiss pin punches are far and away one of my favorite tools in my bag. I bought the 3mm, 4mm, and 5mm punches a while ago rather than the entire set because I think these are the ones I'll need most for in-home use. The steel is strong and the knurling provides excellent grip, and it looks great as well. I've used these to remove hinges and to remove and replace my wood stove door. Nothing special here, but definitely necessary. I always have some sort of mechanical pencil in my tool bag. My wife asked me to hang things around the house on a regular basis, so a pencil is essential to ensure I can mark up the wall to line everything up correctly. This small telescopic magnetic pickup tool has definitely come in handy over the years. It can extend to a total of 25 inches, which is more than enough for most situations. It has a 5-pound pull capacity, and the rubberized textured handle sleeve provides excellent grip. My dad always had one of those all-metal Stanley power lock tape measures, so when it came time for me to buy my first tools, I bought the same one. This past year, I upgraded to the 25-foot Stanley lever lock, and it's been a game changer. The lever at the bottom requires you to squeeze to release the tape, but once you let go, the tape remains locked in place. It took a little while to get comfortable with the motion, but now it's second nature and I love it. This PB Swiss hex key L-wrench set is not cheap, but the quality is exceptional. I've personally put these wrenches through some tough tasks with no fear of the metal warping or breaking. The ball ends are also an excellent addition, especially in situations where you need to work on a screw at a weird angle. The set comes color-coded for quick access to the right tool every time you reach for it. The hex keys are stored in a slim plastic case, which allows it to fit in my tool bag seamlessly. The wrenches can be a little difficult to pull out of the case, but that also means that they aren't going to fall out accidentally. The PB Swiss Insider Pro ratcheting screwdriver is $90. That price seems crazy until you hold this in your hand and use it. The quality is unbelievable. The handle, while plastic, doesn't feel cheap at all. Even the integrated bit magazine feels solid when deploying. The magazine holds 10 high-quality anodized bits. The steel shaft is smooth and machined with absolute precision, and the magnetic barrel holds the bits securely. The ratcheting action feels purposeful and powerful. For a while, I thought this was the only screwdriver I'd ever need to own again, but I eventually caved and bought some fixed drivers, only because I didn't want to wreck this one with consistent overuse. These are the PB Swiss Rainbow Swiss Grip slotted screwdrivers, or flathead screwdrivers. I bought these because I didn't want to constantly have to use and potentially break my PB Swiss ratcheting screwdriver. Sometimes you need to be able to use a good amount of force on stubborn screws, and the fixed drivers are definitely able to handle that better than a ratcheting driver. The tips are magnetic and feature this great step design to ensure they fit perfectly into the screw head every time. I bought the full set of Swiss Grip Phillips screwdrivers because I usually encounter much more of a variety of sizes of Phillips screws. I love the design of these because in addition to the color coding, PB Swiss marked the end of each handle with the size and symbol for the type of driver. This makes it much easier to grab exactly what you need from your tool bag if you store them tip down like I do. The ergonomic handles are grippy and rubberized, which makes the drivers very comfortable to use for extended periods of time. Overall, these screwdrivers are very affordable for the quality and value they provide, and I know I'll never have to replace them. These are my two DeWalt bit sets, nothing too special here. The black and gold twist bits can be used on a variety of materials, and the steel is strong and produces clean pilot holes. The 30-piece impact-rated bit set is extensive enough to cover all of my in-home needs. The cases are tough and lock up well, and they're small enough to carry in my tool bag. These are my DeWalt Atomic 20-volt compact drill and impact driver. Honestly, they feel cheaply made compared to my previous Ryobi drill and much less powerful. Don't get me wrong, they work well and they're all I need for residential use, but I would definitely hesitate before buying these again if I need to replace them in the future. The set came with one charger and a battery for each drill, which charge quickly and last a decent amount of time. Each drill has a built-in light, which is an appreciated feature in my 1930s dimly lit home. And this is how everything looks when it's organized in my tool bag. I keep my impact driver separate because I don't use it as much as my other tools. The bag itself is the Husky 10-inch 15-pocket open-top tool bag. I bought this from Home Depot several years ago for about $30, and it's been the best solution for storing and carrying my tools. I'm not a huge fan of Husky products in general, but this bag is well built, so I'll continue to use it unless I find an option I like better. The bag fits all of my tools perfectly and provides enough pockets and pouches to store everything neatly away. There are enough organizational options for my tool set, and only my drill and bit sets are floating freely in the main part of the bag. And that's everything, guys. Thanks for watching my tool bag tour.